Hello, today is day 6 of
21 days of John.
yeah.
So what stands out for you?
What stands out for me are verses 47 to 48, where Jesus, especially 48, that talks about Jesus being the bread of life. Then verses 60 to 66, and then verses 68 to 69. Yeah.
Okay, what stood out for me on the first part is about the discussion between Philip and Jesus, and then that was verse 6 and verse 7. Also the part from 35 going downwards to the end, how many times Jesus talks about him being the bread and about eternal life.
So what lessons do you learn?
What lessons do I learn? From the first part when Jesus asked Philip, in verse 6, it says that it was only to test him. But he already had in mind what he was going to do. So the lesson here is that Jesus knows my struggles and he knows the areas I am struggling in, and sometimes he will test me to see whether I have learned or maybe it's a lesson for me to learn. And also on the part about eternal life and having life in him, in verse 53, it helped me understand one of the reasons we have Holy Communion.
Oh yeah, actually I have a question on that. Does that mean if you're not saved but you take Holy Communion, you have everlasting life?
I don't believe so, because it says you first believe in your heart and confess with your mouth and you'll be saved. The purpose that we go through all these trainings during before we get into confirmation is to help us understand the role, the importance of being saved, so that we can be able to partake the body and blood of Christ with understanding and not in vain. Because somewhere in Acts it says, because it's taken distribute, that's why some of you are sick and so on, because we take it without understanding.
Okay.
You?
What lessons do I learn? Okay, what lesson did I learn? For me, it was that many believers give up on the journey because it becomes hard. Sometimes it's something people enter in only looking at the good parts, especially in this day and era where we hear a lot of only the positives in the preaching. Yeah.
Okay. And therefore, what application?
My application is from verse 68 to 69. It's to continue to have faith and believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah, because I believe he's the Holy One of God. And if I turn from him, who do I turn to?
You will not be able to be raised on the last day.
Not
Okay.
only that necessarily, but who would I turn to? So who is God?
Oh, you mean like how Peter said, you're the one with eternal life. Okay. Yeah, I get you. For me, my application was more back in John 6 up to 12, the whole Galilee Lexi experience of feeding the 5,000 men. And for me, my application is that Jesus knows me, so I should not hide anything from him. And yes, because he said he already knew what he would do, he also knows me, he knows what I'm capable of doing. Yeah, so I should be honest with him.